everyone, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing amazing today. Now, in terms of weather activity, we haven't really had a whole lot going on across the Caribbean, and I wasn't really planning to post an update video today. However, we had a pretty significant natural phenomenon that occurred just after 6 local time, at least for me in Jamaica. So there was a pretty significant earthquake that just struck in the Caribbean Sea. And this is the strongest shaking that we've had since 2020, January 28th, that powerful magnitude 7.7 shaking. Now, this earthquake was off a preliminary estimate of magnitude 8, which is extremely significant. And let's go on to this map here, providing the details for it. So this earthquake, it happened in the Western Caribbean. And we can see that feature right there to highlight the epicenter of the earthquake. So it was well off Jamaica, well to the west of the island and to the southwest of the Cayman Islands. But it's pretty likely that a shaking may have been felt, especially in Grand Cayman. You can let me know if you felt it, or even towards Central America. Let me know if you guys felt this earthquake. And it was at a depth of around 10 kilometers, so it was a pretty shallow earthquake. Now, the closer an earthquake is to Earth's surface, the more we would actually feel it since we're on Earth's crust. So this was a pretty shallow earthquake. As I said, it's likely have been felt in some areas. Thank God it was very much offshore anywhere. No one actually got hit by this, because that is a shaking capable of doing tremendous damage even to sturdy structures. And aside from that, yesterday there was an earthquake of around magnitude 4 just off Grand Cayman. So that star is highlighting where the epicenter of that earthquake was. And then today, this evening, we got that now adjusted from magnitude 8 to magnitude 7.6 earthquake. So, of course, the Caribbean is seismically active. Every day we have a couple earthquakes around, but they're usually relatively minor. Sometimes you get the more moderate shakings. But this earthquake happened along that boundary between the Caribbean and the North American plate. So this is going to happen from time to time. As I said, like, this is the strongest earthquake since 2020. And before this, it was back in November last year when that 6.8 struck just off Cuba. So it is a seismically active zone that we're in, and we just have to be on guard whenever these quakes happen. They're not predictable. You can just be doing literally anything and it just happens. So it's just a good scenario that at least this didn't hit any direct land areas, so no one felt a 7.6 shaking. And in terms of the Caribbean, let's go ahead and take a look at weather conditions for the region. So on the infrared satellite tonight, we're not seeing much happening. A bit of moisture towards Central America for sure, definitely enhancing the rain in some areas. Maybe a couple of intermittent showers across the rest of the Caribbean. And we've also got that flow of moisture coming up from South America towards the vicinity of the ABC Islands. So even as we're going to be headed into the next day or so, this is a look at our rainfall forecast. More color indicates more rain. So towards parts of South America, especially in Colombia, southern Venezuela, and parts of the Guianas, there could be some substantial rain definitely possible. Things will likely be wet for sections of Central America, including much of Nicaragua, parts of Honduras, going to Belize, Guatemala as well. And then for much of the North Caribbean, a few passing showers, so parts of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, maybe 1 or 2 spots in Cuba, even for the Bahamas as well. Things likely to be on the drier and sunnier side, especially throughout much of tomorrow for the Turks and Caicos Islands. And then from Hispaniola, going to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and through the Lesser Antilles, even going to the ABC Islands as well, there could be some additional shower activity. But as I said, nothing crazy. I wasn't even planning to post a video, but it's just because we've had that seismic event take place. And speaking of earthquakes, looking at other earthquakes across the region. So just as I'm actually recording this video and finalizing it here, there was a 3.5 in northern Honduras. So that's an earthquake that may be felt by a couple persons, not usually a magnitude that would do damage. And earlier this morning, just off Roatan, the island of Roatan in the Bay Islands, there was also a quake, a bit stronger at around magnitude 4. And then this morning as well, there was a magnitude 3.6 quake just offshore Venezuela and to the northwest of Trinidad. So those are a couple of earthquakes we've had. A very minor shaking in Puerto Rico as well this morning, 2.4. that is the kind of shaking that some persons probably don't even notice, especially if it is a deep earthquake. Again, deeper earthquakes, they lose more energy as those seismic waves travel out. So when they actually reach the surface, much of an earthquake is barely even felt with these weaker ones. But that is what went on, and even with an earthquake of such magnitude, the 7.6 shaken, pretty likely there will be aftershocks within that region as well. But of course, guys, I'll be keeping you posted as necessary, and I also have some very exciting news to share with you as we're going to be heading into this new week, so stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much it for this update video, and if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can, and remember to always be weatherwise.